um, another one. So fucking lazy.
Oh,
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
it was supposed to be a painting.
Yep. They're back. Two doors. Hmm. The Stanley Parable 2. Why is there an E? Stanley Parable 2. There's two of them. Yeah, this is so cool. Very cool. Oh,
Can hop on the couch.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know, I did the same thing.
Ah, I love this.
Ah,
Peak. This is peak.
I can't believe he did it again.
This motherfucker is so goddamn lazy.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
New features, okay. What are the new features? Okay. Wow.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
By the way, have you seen that?
Nope.
The guy where he jumped
For the
off
Stanley
hole?
Parable 2, I asked
I didn't
myself,
fully.
what do players really
You know,
want?
Mane?
And of course,
You
the
see that
first and
guy
most
where
obvious answer
he
is that they want to be
and then he jumped on the
individually
hole?
recognized
Nope.
and validated as
That
people.
was the older
So with that in
version.
mind, my
Ah.
first addition to the game is this button, which speaks
Yeah.
the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
That's
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game,
That's
this
correcto.
button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as
Ate.
Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button. Yes, you see, what a thrill, what a rush, that was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again. Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If
Shit,
this
so
were
bored.
the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal valid. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are. I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Please no screenshots.
Kana mo hindi screenshot pa. Screenshot na. Screenshot na tanan.
Sige. The button that's in the jump circle. Infinite hole. Really?
Madre.
Collectibles.
No. Oh. I love it.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Nahanap na agpan, Patricio. Kabiha po kami kaon ng pan, eh.
Oh,
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously gamers. We hear you, and I promise it will happen. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
it is close.
Huh? Ikaw. Tuga po kami. Ano? Brightness talaga. Oy.
Now, can you check that one? I haven't checked that.
Please don't close.
It will close.
So you already been here and you went in there?
Yeah.
So it will close. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go there.
No, go!
I want to find out more. The jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oh god. Oh god.
You know, you can... You know, narrator, you can just,
Fuck this shit, bro. Ooh, exit.
No, not yet, not yet, not yet. No, not yet! Manoy. You're still missing stuff.
Oy, Carlo.
Oh. Magdamag.
You're still missing stuff, Manoy.
Nice. Ooh, merchandise. I'm not going in there. Oh, it's just a full loop. Okay.
Manoy. No, actually.
The fuck?
Oh, I guess that's an Easter egg.
Well, what is that? Oh, never mind. It's just something.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Now, come on, you haven't gone to that.
You're right. So boring.
Oh.
Ooh, a bucket.
Yeah, that's the one I got. And do you know how I get that stamp?
Nope. Oh yeah, you told me.
A common complaint of the Stanley
No.
Parable
Stop.
was that
No.
it was confusing and
There's a sticker on
paradoxical,
it on the
that it
button.
engendered a chaotic sense of reckless
Good.
despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley
that. I want it now.
Parable will
I want it
feel
now.
perfectly normal and
Want
perhaps
it.
even comforting. You may even come to long for the
No,
gentle
you
embrace
got it.
of jarring cognitive
I want it now. I want it
dissonance
now.
while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient
I can't.
solution for me than actually
Deal with them.
redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Yep.
Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Sure.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in... Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday,
Fuck you.
step niece, it is.
I wanted the other one.
Eventually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Fuck you.
Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we
Fuck
all
you.
have to move on from our mistakes.
Anyways, there's the exit.
Still not open, man.
Huh?
Still not open.
Oh, here.
Oh. You jump in the hole.
Yes, I did jump in.
What happened?
They got an infinite loop.
So what did you have to
All
do?
right, have you seen everything you
Oh,
wanted to?
and don't
Ready to
worry,
move on now?
it didn't.
Is that Ronaldo?
No, it's you.
That's trippy.
Oh yeah, you didn't jump in the hole yet.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not
Nice,
it
sit down.
coheres into a meaningful
Yes, actually,
gameplay experience.
If you do it, you do it.
Okay, are you ready?
Hey, crouch.
Here it
crouch.
is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Go.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up
Wanna get
to
that?
anything.
Get that.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait,
You're so boring.
maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really
So you can
tremendous
see the
title
character,
screen.
man.
A title screen that says with
But
bold
sadly, you
and
can't see the face.
uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Tell Ara, Uncle.
I thought it'd be different.
All of his
Where's my bucket?
co-workers were gone.
No,
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley picked up the bucket.
Go to the broom closet and wait for
Stanley
them.
I know,
pressed the
you-
bucket tightly
it-
to his.
it gave me a
This was not
sticker.
the correct way to
Really?
the meeting
Yeah.
room. But Stanley
What?
had felt the
How?
bucket
How
calling
you
to
know?
him, telling him
'Cause I played
that
your
the
game,
employee
and I
lounge
realized
was
it's not
simply
my
the
game.
place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How in... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the... And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked
How you
straight
know?
ahead to the
Yeah.
opposite door.
Because I played your game, bro.
How you put
Still
this
no one was here.
stand?
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find... Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day.
actually
This
gives you two
broom
stamps.
closet believes it
Really?
deserves the bucket. I can
Oh.
really feel it now. It's
You
a
reset the
bucket.
game and you
It belongs
go
in
back
the
in the-
broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
It gives you
Good for
a
you,
sticker
Stanley.
of another
Don't give
bucket.
in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never...
Yes.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
What do I do?
Just wait for a while.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Uncle.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
I've
office.
seen that before.
No. It actually opens. Huh?
It used to open.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
Yes.
stunned to discover not an
2548.
indication of any human
2845.
life. Crushed by the weight of this
2548.
revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
No, I don't
Was it
sure
the
like
bucket
it.
knew all along?
Huh?
It was
Was
a
the
cashier.
bucket guiding him?
No.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Nathan.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would, but of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized, nope, it's death for Stanley and the bucket.
With so much to discover, we quickly learned that not all wildlife is cute and adored. So much at stake, we decided to build our miracle. Equal rights to get the job done.
Bitch.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Wait, if you pull down, yeah.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the 2 of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing. Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stan. Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should Stanley and the bucket walk straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control for... Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, but of course, Stanley and the bucket... Nope, it's death for Stanley and the bucket. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I'm kidding.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Where the fuck is my bucket?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Where the fuck's my bucket? You're standing here at the precipice of knowledge, much like the bucket itself. The human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through the use of exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched with sustained knowledge of the bucket, and its history is the only knowledge that we really only have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind that may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
This is more than 25. The bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never created in real life. Too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Really? Oh, the Inferno Bucket. A replica of the Inferno Bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war. With one bucket for control of it, millions died. Yet, in spite of it all, simple fact remains: no one can control the bucket. Come on up, sir. Sir.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to
Ikaw?
behold as this one. It is
Sup?
man who should kneel before the bucket. But there is something we can do together, you and I, that will right this
Ikaw?
terrible wrong.
Sup?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
Huh? Yeah. Alright.
Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Alright. So, yeah, stuff like this.